Hey everybody, PattyAnne here. Today I'm going to go over from start to finish how I made this really super cute little mug, little tumbler, see it right here. And I'm going to go from start to finish. Now these are some tumblers that I bought, and it even tells me on here they're double wall, and it tells me on here to do them at 360 degrees Fahrenheit for 50 seconds with a tumbler press. Okay, so when I opened these up, I got one of them out like this, and the first thing I thought I needed to do, which I do always do, is to measure it because I want my design to be the exact size I need it to be. Now I like to leave a little bit of a white area up here and down here, just the way I like it. I think it looks more professional to me. So I'm going to start here and go down to here so I can see, actually I can make this about 5.5 inches tall, the image, if you can see. And then I go around like this to see how big around I can make it. And this is about, let's see, about 9 1/4. So depending on my image, I might make this 9 1/2. So now if you come up to my Silhouette software, I'm going to use the free version of Silhouette software. If you don't have it, grab it. I'll have a link for it for you down below. Make sure you grab it, and if you want to have all of the things that you can do for your Cricut machine, your Silhouette machine, whatever, then go ahead and upgrade using my link to the same free link, and it'll take you to the same place to get the business edition, and you're going to love that. But anyway, start with the free, using the link down below, and let's get started. Okay, here we are in Silhouette software. It looked a little bit confusing to you, but not to worry. You won't need to use much at all in this program for this technique. So when I first bring in the image that my friend Vicky gave me that she wanted me to put on a mug or a tumbler for her, when I bring it in, if you look up here, it shows the width, and it shows the height. Well, remember for our height, we wanted it to be, what was it? 5.5, I believe. You double check right quick. Yes, 5.5. So I'm going to unlock this lock so I can just change the height to 5.5 and hit enter. And okay, that really messes it up because I unlocked the lock. But remember, we also need to change the width, we said, right? And the width was 9.5 or 9.5. So I'm going to change this to 9.5, and we'll see how this works out. I'm going to use one of these buttons up here to scroll in a little farther, either the magnifying glass with the plus sign, and I can see, do I like that? Does he look too squished to me? Actually, I think he looks just fine. I could putz with this more and teach you so many more things that you can do with Silhouette software, but I actually think he looks pretty cute like this. So I can't print this way, right? Because our sheets of paper, normal paper, are 8.5 by 11. If I try to print it like this, it's not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and twirl this around like this and put it down here. And I'm going to go to File and Print. You see, I don't need to have a machine at all. I'm a Silhouette, a Cameo, a Cricut, anything. Go to File and Print. And here it shows up and it's all there. So I would say print. Oh, but y'all, wait a minute. What did I almost forget to do? When we're doing sublimation, you must mirror your image. So I would click on this to highlight it and then come up here to Object, Mirror, Flip horizontally. So then when it prints out and I put it on my tumbler, it's going to be perfect. So now I would come up here to File and Print, and yep, it's backwards, but that's what we want. Say Print, and I would go to the printer that's my Sublimation printer, and I would come to Preferences and make sure that my print quality, if you have this on yours, is set to best, and then I would say OK and print it. But I've already printed this, so let's continue on from here. Okay, I always clean my mugs and my tumblers, things like that I'm sublimating onto, with isopropyl or rubbing alcohol. I use 91%. I'm not sure if that's absolutely necessary, but I make sure to get it all cleaned all over so there's no fingerprints or grease prints that may make it so it does not sublimate on it as well as what I'd hope. Okay, next up I have my image here, and I'm going to get the special kind of tape. Remember, you cannot use just regular tape, Scotch tape, masking tape, painter's tape. None of those will work. You must use the regular tape that's made for sublimation. So I'm making sure that the excess edge that I have that doesn't have any printing under it is going to be the piece that goes inside or under the other piece. So I have a seamless finish when I'm done. So I'm going to take a piece of that tape and begin taping this together. So at first I was taping right onto the tumbler, but I don't want to do that because that might, it will make it so that my image doesn't sublimate totally all the way around. And remember, I don't want any white stripe in this one. I am going to have a little tiny bit of a white border at the top and the bottom, but remember, I did that on purpose because I think it makes them look a little bit nicer. So I'm just going to continue taping this, making sure that there's no gaps. Okay, I'm using a new to me Craft Express tumbler press. I love, love, love this thing. I'll show you at the end especially why I love it better than any of the other ones that I have. Okay, what I'd like you to notice here is the tape is at the very top. That's where I put that special tape to tape my design together. That's at the top when I first put it into my heat press, which makes it really easy for me to know when this 60 seconds is done. I will flip it so that that tape is on the bottom, directly on the bottom of the heat press. Well, anyway, I'm preheating it to 350 degrees and I'm going to sublimate this mug for 60 seconds. Okay, I hope you noticed when I first put that tumbler in, I had the seam that I had taped shut straight up, facing straight up. This is important. The second time when you twirl it around, you'll put the seam so it's all the way down at the bottom. So you only have to flip tumblers in this once. It's not like in your Cricut mug press that you have to do, or your tumbler press, where you have to flip a tumbler 4 times to be able to get it to print. This only takes 1 time to flip it. Okay, we're almost to the end, getting ready for the big reveal. When it gets to 0, I'll take it out. Notice I'm wearing gloves. It's really, really very hot. Even with the gloves on, it's very hot. You can actually see that it's smoking a little bit. So I'll take this off a little bit and then... Okay, this was supposed to be the final review or the final reveal. Obviously, it's not the same tumbler. So I had a little problem with my camera, but I thought you'd enjoy seeing this one anyway. And so in just a couple of seconds, I'm going to very, very quickly go through the whole process with you again. And I'm going to show you how I took this image that wasn't the right size whatsoever from Creative Fabrica and made it so it would be a beautiful full wrap on this mug or on this tumbler. So follow me and let's get started on that. Okay, I'm going to go through this quickly. I'll have the Farm Fresh image link for you below, but here's the way it came in, and it's way too big, and I knew I needed to make it 5.5 tall by 9.25 wide, and I really had a problem doing that. So let me show you what I did. First thing I did was I just took this image with the lock locked and I changed it so it was 5.5 inches tall. Whoops, I have that wrong. 5.5. Okay, so there it is. When it's 5.5 inches tall, it's only 6 inches around, which won't be enough. I need it to look more like this one. So what did I do to make it wider? Oh, if you can look at the picture, you can probably guess. Let me unflip it horizontally. Okay, so maybe you can kind of guess what I did here. I went ahead and took a snippet of this side of the tree. So I got my knife tool, came over here, and between the two trees, I held down my shift key and just drew a line like that. Okay, so then I have another piece of a tree, as you'll notice if I pull it apart. So I'm going to put that back. With this piece selected, I'm going to right click and say duplicate. And I took that one and I put it on this side over here. And then I measured to see, was that wide enough? No, that's almost 7 inches wide, not nearly wide enough. So I did it again. I right clicked and said duplicate. And there's one over here. Let's see, there's two over here now. So I put this one like this, and I put another one here, I guess, like that. Okay, on this one though, I think what I did was I right clicked on it and said flip horizontally so that the clouds would match together better, and actually this little tree back here. Then I just duplicated another one, so I can grab this one and duplicate, and I can bring him right here. If that doesn't look like right, I can right click on this one and say flip horizontally, and I like how that looked better. So I kept adding trees like that until I was happy and it was wide enough. I probably needed, well, maybe one more on this side and one more on that side, but you get the idea. The next thing I did do is I went ahead, grabbed all of these, came up here to the alignment tool and aligned them to the top so they would be perfect. And then I just went ahead and grouped them all. And again, like I said, I added a few more on each side so that my height was still 5.5, but my width was pretty close to 9.25, or between 9.25 and 9.50. And that's when I quit, and it was like this. Then I just went to print this one, file and print. I made sure that my print, oh, I need to, see that gets cut off like that, so I need to cancel it, and I need to turn it or do it portrait like that. I also need to remember to flip horizontally so that it works properly. Then I will go to file and print, and there it is, just like that. Now it all fits on there, and I would say print. And again, remember, after I select the proper printer, I would go to my preferences and change it so that its quality was on high right here, and I would print it, which I've already done. So now let's go up and watch the final reveal of this one. Okay, once again, I'm using the Craft Express. I love this. I highly recommend you check it out if you don't have a machine. And now I'm going to show you when I open this, and I'm going to show you where the top, there you go. There's the seam of the tape. I have it at the top to begin with. I flip it once, and then I begin again the 60 seconds. Perfect. So much easier than most of the heat presses. Okay, I'm almost ready to take this out. I did fail to tell you that you can put the very tall 20-ounce tumblers in here, and they also have an attachment so that you can put 30-ounce tumblers in here. And again, just do the one flip and it's ready to go. So I'm going to do the final reveal now. It's so totally hot I can barely take it, but I'm able to get some of the tape off, and I'll show you as I go. And it turned, look at that, it is beautiful. It is just absolutely beautiful, and I love that I only have to flip it once. Even if I'm using the very tall 20-ounce tumblers, one flip, you're done. It's not like using it in your Cricut mug press where you have to do it 4 times, or some of the other presses. This one's just a perfect size. So I'll have a link for you down below. I'm really not affiliated with them. Isn't this beautiful? I hope this helps you new people who may be getting sublimation things for Christmas. The way it is so easy in the free version of the software to fix it. Check out this machine too. I think you'll really like it. Thanks again for joining me. I'll see y'all again soon. Bye-bye.